Welcome to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, the site of this year's Metrics World's Strongest Man competition. Hello everyone, I'm Todd Harris along with Bill Kazmaier. The fifth and final group is set to begin its qualification round. Their first test will be the carry and drag.
And this is a challenging one, Todd. A pair of 265-pound anchors lifted and carried 15 meters. Then the athletes will drag a 660-pound chain and anchor the rest of the course another 15 meters.
We are now set for our lane assignments. This is Mick Gosley, 30 years old from England. He is a boat builder by trade, making his debut here at the World's Strongest Man. Next to him, this is Tibor Mazaros from Hungary. Now, he's an engineer by trade, also making his World's Strongest Man debut.
Todd, he's a power lifter. Let's see if he can make the transition to strongman.
A man we've seen a few times in the past. This is Torbjorn Samuelsson, the younger brother of 1998 champion Magnus Samuelsson, representing Sweden. Hugo Girard, North America's strongest man from Canada, a police officer. Hoping to get back to the final one more time.
Big, strong, and muscular, isn't he?
2 years ago, this man made it to the final in his World's Strongest Man debut from Poland. This is Mariusz Pudzianowski.
He sure is shredded.
And our final competitor rounding out the sixth, this is Carl Gillingham from Minnesota, representing the United States.
Todd, he's got two awesome training partners, his brothers Brad and Wade.
Take your grip. Ready.
This is the final qualifying group. Remember, only 2 spots available to go to the final. And right off the bat, Hugo Girard and Mariusz Pudzianowski flying through those first 15 meters.
Great start. This is where it jumps on the body, though, dragging that chain. Pudzianowski sure is flying with that 660-pound chain and anchor.
Kaz, he is absolutely massive.
And incredible. Look at this pull. No hesitation all the way through. So many other athletes fell and had to get up again. That was incredible.
He stops the clock at 27:03. In previous heats, only one man completed the course. That was Magnus Samuelsson. It took him all 20 seconds longer. So Mariusz Pudzianowski certainly sending a message. Hugo Girard trying to squeak in for second place and the valuable 5 points that accompany it. But he's got some pressure right now on the outside in the yellow. That's Carl Gillingham. And he is just shot. Hugo Girard has nothing left.
Hugo's using the traditional form. Pull and drop. Get 3 feet at a time.
That chain weighs 660 pounds, and they're pulling it over a cobblestone floor, so it's not like they're getting a lot of great traction.
Let's remember the heat's well over 100 degrees here with high humidity. This is a real tough event to keep pulling on these heavy weights.
And time has run out, so Hugo Girard will get second place in the carry and drag, but it is Mariusz Pudzianowski exploding on the scene with a time of 27:03, the only man to complete the course. His destruction complete, Mariusz can walk away satisfied. Hugo Girard has made a steady climb to the top of the strongman world. After several close finishes, he's paid his dues and is looking for validation. Mariusz Pudzianowski exploded on the scene just 2 years ago. He's ignoring the line of succession and is awaiting his coronation. Welcome to the Malaysian capital of Kuala Lumpur for the ultimate test of strength. This is the Metrics World's Strongest Man. And hello once again, everybody. I'm Todd Harris, along with a 3-time champion, Bill Kazmaier. Bill, it's all come down to this, the 5th and final qualifying group. Only 2 can move into the final, but within this group, we have 3 of the top strongmen in the world. It is going to be a battle.
Yeah, Todd, I don't know the last time that I saw a group this competitive. You know, 2 years ago, Mariusz Pudzianowski placed 4th in his World's Strongest Man debut and impressed everyone. Carl Gillingham last year broke onto the world stage, and he really wants to take the trophy back to the United States.
And let's not forget Canada's strongest man, Hugo Girard. He really has been the elite strongman in North America for the last 5 years.
This year, you know, I've been working basically on mobility and conditioning, because now it's a big part of the sports. Being strong is not enough. If you don't have the cardio goes with it, definitely you won't be a good strongman.
Well, we've already talked about a few of the athletes in this 5th and final qualifying group. Right now, let's meet the entire field.
Hugo Girard, Canada.
Torbjörn Samuelsson, Sweden.
Tibor Mészáros, Hungary.
Mariusz Pudzianowski, Poland.
Nick Gosling, England.
Carl Gillingham, USA.
More of the Metrics World's Strongest Man when we return. Welcome back to the Metrics World's Strongest Man. We are in Merdeka Square for the next event, the overhead lift.
Todd, this event is a traditional test of strength. I mean, what could be simpler than lifting a log over your head? The only problem here is the log weighs 300 pounds, and things only get heavier from there.
And remember, they must achieve the lockout position and wait for the down signal from Douglas Edmonds, our head referee.
Sweden, Torbjörn Samuelsson.
Our first competitor is Torbjörn Samuelsson. Now remember, all 6 men completed the first weight of 265, so this is the second weight of 300 pounds.
Nice, easy, clean, strong press. Lift.
Well, he certainly would like a good performance after finishing last in the carry and drag. Mariusz Pudzianowski got 6 points for his win in that event. Hugo Girard took second. And with only 2 men advancing to the final and facing 2 of the best strength athletes in the world, there is no room for error for guys like American Carl Gillingham.
Tibor Mészáros.
This is Tibor Mészáros, 35 years of age, from Hungary.
God, he looks to me like a small powerhouse.
His background is in powerlifting. We'll see how that translates here.
Easy, clean.
Making his debut at the World's Strongest Man at 35 years of age, and he is successful at 300 pounds.
He looks like a strong presser, Todd.
Well, let's look at it one more time, Kaz. We talk about the different techniques. He's a power lifter. What do you think?
Great clean, taking the log from the waist up across the chest to the shoulders, and then pressing out with strong deltas and tries.
Representing Great Britain.
Our next competitor also making his debut at the World's Strongest Man. This is 30-year-old Mick Gosling, 6'5", 275, a boat builder from England. Remember, the weight is 300 pounds.
He's getting himself set and psyched. It's a strong move to the chest. Doesn't look like he's got it in the shoulders to get it all the way up. He sure is fighting it, though.
Now, Kaz, is it true if you get it to that point, you don't get up on the first press, more than likely you won't get it done?
That's true, and as soon as you set the log down and take your hands off it, you can't try again.
All right, Kaz, break down this attempt. What went wrong for him?
Well, Mick had a good clean to the shoulders with the log, but he just doesn't have the leg drive to push to arm's length.
Of strength. His father was
American Carl Gillingham might seem mild-mannered, but this is a man whose inner fire has helped him become one of the U.S.'s best strongmen.
There's not many people doing what we're doing. I work a normal corporate job during the day and then have to behave myself pretty much for when I get out and lift heavy things, and it gives me a different opportunity to be more primitive maybe. When you tell people and they haven't seen it on TV, they don't really know if they believe you or not. They know these Magnus guys, Magnus Burr and Magnus Samuelsson. They find it hard to believe that you're actually competing against them. But when they see it on TV, it gives you some notoriety. It's getting very competitive in the States now. We had very tough qualifiers this year to get through, and there's probably 10 guys right now that could be here, and we're the lucky 5 that made it through. Next year will even be tougher. Last year was very good for me. It was a long journey to get the opportunity to compete in World's Strongest Man. I was disappointed at the end, but I gave it everything I had. Came very close to making the finals, so it was a very good experience. I learned that if I would have had a perfect day, I could compete with anybody. Hopefully that comes true this year. I've competed against all these guys for years now, so I feel I belong.
Well, it's time for Carl Gillingham to step up and prove his point. This is his attempt at 300 pounds.
He's fired up, Todd. Really nice clean to the shoulders.
And Carl Gillingham is successful at 300 pounds.
He looked like a machine on that lift, Todd.
Well, talk about intensity. This guy certainly had plenty of it. Bill Kazmaier in the overhead lift back in 1981. He lifts it like a toothpick. Welcome back to the Metrics World's Strongest Man. We're in Kuala Lumpur's Merdeka Square for the conclusion of the overhead lift. Todd Harris along with Bill Kazmaier. With only one competitor eliminated, the weight moved to 330 pounds. One after another, the 5 survivors stepped up. And one after another, they pressed the log overhead. Amazingly, all 5 were successful, and now we'll be moving on to 342 pounds. So next up, this is Torbjorn Samuelsson, 29 years of age, from Sweden, farmer by trade.
A big, powerful man. Strong, clean to the shoulders. And a struggle on the press. If he doesn't let go, he gets another attempt.
Well, Kaz, he lists his favorite event as the log lift. But this is an amazing effort here, 342 pounds.
Another good clean. Just not enough energy to give it a go.
So Torbjorn Samuelsson has seen enough. He bows out at 342.
After a first attempt that's unsuccessful, most times these athletes can't come back and get it on their second.
The next man to attempt 342 from Hungary, this is Tibor Masaros. And when asked what was the strangest thing he's ever been asked to lift, a cow and a piano. Hopefully, different times.
It's a nice strong press with the log.
So the man they call Mr. Deadlift is successful at 342. He will be moving on. This is American Carl Gillingham. Made the last weight look easy, Kaz, but this 342 is almost a shock to the system once they get it up to their knees.
He's such an explosive athlete, Todd. Everything done really quickly and powerfully. Nice clean. He's rock solid there. Just needs some leg drive. There it is. Oh, so close. One more time to see if he can get it. He loves pressing on his chest and taking his air. He's really draining him quick.
Unfortunately, Carl Gillingham has to drop out at 342 pounds.
Tremendous leg drive from a powerful athlete. Gets it almost a lockout. Tries, just won't catch it.
Hugo Girard.
Our next athlete to attempt 342, this is 30-year-old police officer from Quebec, Canada, Hugo Girard. What's amazing about him, Kaz, he has a 70-inch chest.
He's a powerhouse. And he makes that so easy.
So Hugo Girard will move on, 342, successful for him.
Representing Poland.
And this is Mariusz Pudzianowski of Poland. 25 years of age, he's 6'1", 275. Small by most strongmen standards. As you pointed out, Bill, he is powerful.
He's got quite a package there. Goes for the leg drive. Didn't quite get it. He's going to try again. Good leg drive. A nice lockout. A good lift.
So Mariusz Pudzianowski is successful at 342, as was Tibor Masaros and Hugo Girard.
160 kilos goes on
Kaz,
the
he really
log.
had to hold this lockout for a while.
He gave it a great leg drive, but the shoulders and triceps really struggled to get it to arm's length.
So the weight keeps going up. Current attempt for Tibor Masaros, 353 pounds. And we can't tell you enough how hot and humid it is here. And these guys are pulling off an amazing feat in any conditions. But under this heat, Kaz, this is amazing.
Always has a good clean, a real strong back. But he's pressing the weight. He's not using his legs. Not today. The deltoids just won't do it.
So 353 proves to be too much for the Hungarian, and he is done. So with Tibor Masaros out of the competition, we only have 2 competitors left, Kaz, but he gave it a great shot.
He did, but not a lot of leg drive. and the shoulders just weren't strong enough to take it up to arm's length.
Canada, Hugo Girard.
So it's down to 2 men. First up will be Hugo Girard of Canada at 3:53, trying to get a little moral support from the crowd here in Kuala Lumpur. See if it pays off.
Nice style the way he rolls this up his chest. Good set. That's an easy press.
Hugo Girard has certainly put the pressure on Mariusz Pudzianowski. He is successful at 3:53, and now it's all up to Pudzianowski.
I've seen Hugo press a lot of heavy things before. He's got tremendous shoulder strength and arm strength. I think he's good for a whole lot more.
So it comes down to this. Mariusz Pudzianowski can force another weight increase if he is successful at 3:53. If he's unsuccessful, the win in this event goes to Hugo Girard. And Kaz, we saw him struggle at the last weight, which was 3:42, and it's gone up 11 pounds. How do you think he's going to do?
Well, he's got to repeat and get a good strong clean to the shoulders, and he's got that. Just needs to set up those legs. He's a tough competitor. Trying again. Balance becomes a problem. You can't breathe in this position. He really wants it, but just can't do it on the second. He let go of it. That's no lift. He almost seems confused by the judge's ruling. You can't let go of the bar.
Once you let go, your turn is over. So the victory goes to Hugo Girard of Canada, the winner in the overhead lift with a weight of 353 pounds. Your final results: Hugo Girard gets the victory. Mariusz Pudzianowski ties for second with Tibor Mazaros of Hungary. Carl Gillingham ties for fourth with Torbjorn Samuelson.
Hugo, congratulations. First place here, you did that with ease.
I had a lot more in me. You know, it was a tough decision, not trying to go for the world record, but hopefully I'm going to have another shot next time. I know I got to save myself because every bit of energy I can save, I'm going to use it.
Well, is this your year?
We find out.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Hugo Girard is our leader after 2 events. Mariusz Pudzianowski is just a half point back. Carl Gillingham and Tibor Mazaros are deadlocked for third. When we come back to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, we'll have the Fingal Fingers. You're watching the Metrics World's Strongest Man. We're back in Malaysia for the Metrics World's Strongest Man. Bintang Walk, one of Kuala Lumpur's busiest streets, has been shut down for the Fingal Fingers. The first pairing matched England's Mick Gosling and Sweden's Torbjorn Samuelson. From the beginning, Samuelson had the advantage. Gosling recorded a respectable 4 fingers in the time of 40.62 seconds, while Samuelson knocked down all 5 in a time of 48.81. Our next 2 competitors in the Fingal Fingers, this is Tibor Mazaros of Hungary, tied for third after 2 events, and he will be facing off with Carl Gillingham on the left side of your screen. Now remember, it is against time, not against each other. But Kaz, it certainly helps to have a strong partner going at the same time with you.
It sure does. Carl Gillingham, Mr. Intensity, right up to the first finger and moving fast.
Tibor Mazaros having some problems with that first finger. It does weigh 440 pounds. Meanwhile, Carl Gillingham in the United States is onto the second finger, which weighs 495. And Bill, this is one of those events, if you've never trained for it, it is rather awkward.
It'll be tough if you've never done it before. It looks like you may not have. Carl's so methodical, though. He's already finished 3. It's pretty tough for him, though. He has no one to go up against. He's got to do this all by himself.
So Gillingham on the 4th finger, 605 pounds.
Carl's looking so strong here. But just got away from him.
Meanwhile, Tibor Mazaros continues to go at a slow pace, but he's still on course.
I think it took him all the way through the first finger to figure out how to do these. He's doing pretty well.
3 fingers complete with only 10 seconds to go, and he's in no hurry to get that 4th finger, which weighs 605 pounds.
These fingers have taken a lot out of him, Todd.
And he is done. Well, an interesting performance by both gentlemen. Here's somewhat of a surprise that Carl Gillingham only successful at 3 fingers.
Todd, he was so fast for the first 3 fingers, it looked like he could do 5. He started getting really aggressive with his hand grip here on 4, and the finger just came crashing down on him.
Our final 2 competitors in the single fingers. This is Mariusz Pudzianowski. He is currently in 2nd place after 2 events. He will be going head-to-head with Hugo Girard, our leader in this final qualifying group.
Should be a good race, Todd.
Ready.
Both these men about the same height. Hugo has him by bulk.
And he's using that body weight to manhandle these single fingers.
That first finger is 440 pounds, Kaz, and he just threw it over.
Well, it's that shoulder strength, massive tricep strength, strong low back and hips. He's just driving these fingers.
Well, you'd like to get this guy in a tackling dummy. He is impressive, just powering through there. Meanwhile, Mariusz Pudzianowski, who is a bit lighter, now starting to pick up his pace as both men work on that 4th finger.
Mariusz looks really extended here. I don't know how much power he can apply to that finger. Hugo's just massively strong and manhandling this finger. That's number 5.
Hugo Girard wins the event, 44.75, all 5 fingers. And this is somewhat of a surprise, Kaz.
The crowd's trying to get behind Mariusz. I don't know if that's going to be enough. He lets it go.
Well, your winner is Hugo Girard, completing all 5 fingers in an impressive time.
Super power, enough body mass, and he just shoves this finger over to complete all 5. Mariusz, not enough body weight and shoulder and arm power to complete the 4th finger, and he calls it a day.
Hugo Girard had a near-perfect run through the fingers. Torbjorn Samuelsson was the only other man to finish 5. Mick Gosling takes 3rd. Let's go down to Bill Kazmaier.
Hugo, 1 second and 2 first. You got to be happy with that.
You know, I can't complain. I would have been happier with the 3 first, but I take that.
3 events to go. Can you hold these guys off?
Do my best, but I think I got the power to do it.
Well, you're looking good.
Thank you.
Hugo Girard is showing why many people expect him to leave Malaysia as the world's strongest man. Pudzianowski is in 2nd. Gillingham and Samuelsson are tied for 3rd, but well off the pace. Right now, let's take a look at the Metrics Brute Strength Award.
After years' absence, Mariusz Pudzianowski wanted to make sure he hadn't been forgotten. He made his presence known immediately with an outrageous display of power and speed in the carry and drag. Well, his challenges crumbled one by one. He wins the Metrics Brute Strength Award.
We are halfway through our final qualifying group. For my partner Bill Kazmaier, I'm Todd Harris, saying so long from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Keeping up the long tradition of exotic locales, the Metrics World's Strongest Man rolls into Malaysia. We are in Putrajaya, just miles away from the capital city of Kuala Lumpur. 3 events down for this group, 3 events to go. Up next is the truck pole. And hello once again, I'm Todd Harris along with Bill Kazmaier. First up will be England's Mick Gosling, and he will set the early standard.
Todd, that truck's 16 tons. Mick is 270 pounds. This is going to be quite a fight for him to get this truck down the course.
Are you ready? You tell me. Take it straight.
He's got a nice position off the start. He's tilted. He's getting a little bit of slippage on that footwear. He's got the truck moving good.
Mick Gosling in the unenviable position of being first up, so everyone else will know what they'll need to beat. That's part of being a rookie. Cassie's got it going. That's half the battle, but can he keep it going over the length of this course?
It's going to take a lot out of him. It's hot here in Kuala Lumpur. Well over 100 degrees. He's pulling pretty hard on that rope. He's tilted, taking the pain and the strain. All things considered, this is a good pull.
And And Mick Gosling stops the clock at 50.43 seconds. So we are off and running in Putrajaya at the Metrics World's Strongest Man. Malaysia welcomed 30 of the planet's elite strongmen. 8 men with extraordinary strength have already claimed positions in the final. Sven Karlsson of Norway. Poland's Jarek Dimik. Juha Räsänen of Finland. Latvian Reimas Bergmanis. Scotland's Gregor Edmonds. Magnus Samuelsson of Sweden. Lithuania's Zydrunas Savickas. And Johnny Perry of the USA. Only 2 of these 6 men will join them.
Welcome to Kuala Lumpur's Chinatown, host city for this year's Metrics World's Strongest Man. And hello, everybody. I'm Todd Harris. Welcome to Malaysia. Well, 8 spots have been filled for the final. Only 2 remain, and they will come out of Group 5's qualifying round. So far, this group has held pretty much true to form. Canada's Hugo Girard is in first with 17 points. Poland's Mariusz Pudzianowski sits in second with 13.5 points. And on the outside looking in is American Carl Gillingham. And he's standing by with our Bill Kazmaier.
Carl, you're 5 points out of second place. What's it going to take for you to break into the final?
It's going to take a few things. It's going to take a lot of effort, a lot of intensity, and a little bit of luck.
Well, one of your brothers is a strong man, another is world powerlifting champion, and your dad was many times in the Pro Bowl. How's he prepared you for a situation like this?
Well, I think from our early age, he had us really dedicated to the sport, and whatever you do, you go out and give your all-out effort, and that's what I'm...
In the world here, is that in the back of your mind?
No, it isn't. I have to do what I came here to do and let the chips fall where they may.
Well, good luck.
All right, thanks, Bill.
All right, thanks, guys. We'll get back to the truck poll in just a moment, but right now, let's recap the first 3 events for this qualifying round.
Mariusz Pudzianowski couldn't have executed the carry and drag any better. He scorched the course in under 28 seconds. In the overhead lift, Tibor Mazaros dropped out at 353 pounds, as did Pudzianowski. Hugo Girard was the only man with an answer for that immense weight. Next up, Hugo Girard just tore up the Fingal fingers. He stood him up and threw him down for a second event win. So after 3 events, Girard has 17 out of a possible 18 points. Pudzianowski trails by 3.5. Carl Gillingham and Torbjorn Samuelsson are tied for 3rd place. And we are now back to Putrajaya. This is American Carl Gillingham, currently 5 points out from a berth in the final. And Kaz, hate to use the phrase, but it is definitely go time for the American.
It sure is, Todd. You know, Carl puts everything he's got into these events from start to finish.
Take this thing!
Tough event to prepare for, Kaz. It's not often you can go out and find a 16-ton truck to strap yourself to, but Carl Gillingham has done the training in the weight room, and the time to beat right now, 50.43, put up by Gosling of the UK.
Todd, he's pulling really strong here. He's pretty fast down the course. And believe me, he does practice at home pulling trucks to get ready for this strongman competition.
Well, quite a sight to see this in Putrajaya, Malaysia, but it's another thing to see it back home in Minnesota, where Carl Gillingham hails from, and he's got the motor going. Oh, a slight slip there, and that's going to cost him.
It's his momentum. Hopefully he can get it back going again. The rope sometimes is just in the way for some of these guys.
And he just misses out on that time to beat. The time for Gillingham of 51.03. He really had his problems in the last 10 meters. Look at the effort by Carl Gillingham, sacrificing his body to keep the truck moving. When we return, Mariusz Pudzianowski will unleash his Polish power, and Hugo Girard looks to add another win. Stay with us. This is the Metrics World's Strongest Man. Welcome back to Putrajaya, Malaysia for a World's Strongest Man Classic, the Truck Pole. Todd Harris along with Bill Kazmaier. Our next competitor from Sweden is Torbjörn Samuelsson. Now after him, there's only 2 competitors to go. He currently sits in 3rd place after 3 events.
Are you ready?
Todd, he looks strong for this event. He's really bulked in his upper body. He weighs well over 300 pounds. He's got good footwear. Starts off with a nice tilt. He and his brother train pulling these trucks all year long.
Well, coming into this event, he was tied with Carl Gillingham. Carl has already gone, put up a time of 51:03, but that is not the time to beat. The time to beat is 50.43 seconds, put up by England's Mick Gosling. And you can hear his brother Magnus in the background cheering him on.
He's got a great tilt going here, using a lot of leg and hip drive. Pulling hard with those big biceps.
And he's got a nice even pace going, Kaz. We see a lot of guys start out really quick and then they just fade in the last 10 meters, but he has kept consistent all the way through.
Head down and concentrated, pulling really hard through the end of the race.
Well, he's going to come up short of the time to beat. His time, 52.43 seconds.
Torbjörn's technique seems really good, but he just doesn't have the hip and leg drive to get a good speed.
This is our penultimate competitor, Mariusz Pudzianowski, currently in 2nd place after 3 events. Kaz, he doesn't have the weight that you'd expect him to have here and be successful, but he certainly has the power.
Well, he looks powerful, that's for sure. And it does help to have a lot of body weight to pull these big trucks.
Are you ready?
Mariusz Pudzianowski goes 6'1", 275.
Gets a lot of his start out of those biceps. It's not a real fast start.
Pudzianowski hoping that momentum is his friend. Once he gets the 16-ton truck going, he can use those massive biceps and keep it rolling.
Todd, he's fighting really hard. He is using those arms, that big, massive upper back. He's driving real hard and quick with those legs, too.
The time to beat, 50.43, put up by England's Mick Gosling.
That tilt really hurts. He's working very hard to get the best time he can.
Oh, this is going to be very close. Pudzianowski brings it to the finish line, and he has done it. He has moved into 1st place with a time of 46.84 seconds. Well, for half a decade, Hugo Girard of Canada has been a constant at the top of the strongman ranks. But some things have changed since we last saw him.
Since I'm 12 years old, that's what I dream about doing. I was reading cartoon and, the Incredible Hulk, grabbing a car and throwing it. I just dreamed that I could do it. When we're first starting to train for this and people look at us, like flipping tires in the street, I think everyone thinks we're nuts doing it. And I agree with them, but somehow, as they start to understand what we're doing and you explain to them what exactly is the task and why we're doing it, we never dream about being world's strongest man, so that's why I'm in. Outside the sport, I think they're relatively a normal person, and we have emotion and like anyone else. I got married on November 3rd last year. That was definitely the biggest challenge of my life. When I saw Nadine coming down the alley, I knew I was up for something, a big involvement. I feel great about it, actually, and she's very supportive. I see relationship as teamwork, Since I met her 10 years ago, I knew that was it, and that was her, so that was a great day and a great wedding. Of course, when I win the world's strongest man, that would be the next biggest party.
So this is our final competitor in the truck pull, Hugo Girard.
Well, Todd, if I had to pick somebody with a perfect body for pulling trucks, it'd be Hugo.
Mariusz Pudzianowski looking on. He has set the time to beat, 46.84 seconds, and there are 6 points on the line for the victor.
Look at this massive upper body, Todd. Huge biceps and shoulders, a big, strong upper back, tremendous hips and quadriceps. Look at those calves bulging as he pulls this 16-ton truck.
Well, he has the biggest chest of anyone here, a 70-inch chest for Hugo Girard.
He's got a great speed of this truck going right now. This is a really good pull.
The time to beat, 46.84 seconds.
He's staying real low, Todd. I've got to tell you, it hurts to stay low, and he's taking that pain. He wants to win.
And he's going to do just that. His time, 43.16 seconds. Hugo Girard, showing why he is a four-time World's Strongest Man finalist, has won yet another event. For the third straight event, it was all Hugo Girard. Mariusz Pudzianowski follows in second. Mick Gosling picks up third place. Bill Kazmaier with Hugo.
Hugo, with that win, you're really distancing yourself from the rest of the field.
You know what? I want to send a message to the rest of the field. I'm here for real. I'm going to give 110%. And now I'm on their way now.
Good job.
Thank you.
Hugo Girard, the police officer from Quebec, is enforcing his own brand of justice. He extends his lead to 4.5 points. Pudzianowski maintains second place. Gosling moves to third. Time is running short for Carl Gillingham. We'll be back to Malaysia after this. Those are the world's tallest buildings, and this is the world's greatest test of strength. We're in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia for the Metrics World's Strongest Man. The next event for this group is the Conan's Wheel. Tibor Mazaris took the first shot at the Conan's Wheel and recorded a distance of 53.50 meters. Sweden's Torbjorn Samuelsson followed and stretched the mark to beat to just under 77 meters. Mick Gosling of England battled a 660-pound load through nearly 3 revolutions and a distance of 84.30 meters. And that takes us to Carl Gillingham of the United States, currently 4th overall, 37 years of age, father of 2, as he gets set to take hold of this apparatus. 660 pounds, Kaz, and we've incorporated the favorite mode of transportation here in KL, 2 motorcycles.
Todd, Carl's elected to pick up those motorcycles without any padding on his arms. He's so intense, maybe he forgot him, or he's just tougher than most of the other guys.
360 degrees equals 30 meters. The distance to beat, 84.30 meters. And we remind you that apparatus weighs 660 pounds.
Look at the determination. Carl is really motoring.
He's on his second rotation, coming up on 60 meters.
He's putting it all out. What a great speed.
Looks like he's going to complete this third rotation here, Kaz. And he becomes now the man to beat.
He's breathing well. All of a sudden, the balance is going.
And Carl Gillingham finally has enough.
The end looks excruciatingly painful, but Carl knows every step counts. Even though he leads, Carl can't be sure if it'll hold up with Pudzianowski and Girard still to come.
Representing Poland.
Next up, this is Mariusz Pudzianowski of Poland. 21-inch biceps, 53-inch chest, and only 25 years of age.
Ready. Lift and go.
Mariusz, currently 2nd overall, has the luxury of knowing that if he can top 94.30 meters, he assures himself no less than 2nd place.
Todd, at 1 revolution, he looks smooth, solid, and determined.
Kaz, those massive biceps have certainly got to be a big help.
If you don't have them, you can't hold this big pole up with 660 pounds.
2 rotations complete. That's 60 meters. I don't know if it's the glasses or what, Kaz, but Mariusz Pudzianowski looks just as comfortable as he did on the first rotation.
He's straining, but he's still moving really fast.
Well, a gentleman that he is, Mariusz Pudzianowski drops it just where he picked it up, and he puts it down at 120 meters.
Although Pudzianowski doesn't have the massive body size, he takes the word fitness to a whole new level for strongmen.
And our final competitor in the Conan's Wheel, this is 30-year-old Hugo Girard. Now, Kaz, he has built himself a pretty good lead through the first 4 events.
Well, his reputation, he's a formidable strongman. He can go as many times around here as he wants to.
Are you ready? Lift and go.
What a nice, easy pickup. He's moving fast. Good pace.
Distance to beat would be 4 rotations, 120 meters. Well, he stops at 30 meters, and obviously Hugo has done some math, knowing that he just needs 1 point to secure himself a spot in the final. He does just that, picks up 1 point. Mariusz Pudzianowski looked like he might walk right back to Poland. Among the mere mortals, Carl Gillingham led the way. Hugo Girard's plan was obviously to leave something in the tank. He's now with Bill Kazmaier.
Hugo, that's experience speaking right there. We know you're saving it for the final.
That's exactly it. You know, I had my strategy. You know, why the point, if you can qualify in 4 events, why go all the way for 6? So right now, it's saving myself, having a good time. That give me an extra day for the final of rest. I'm going to take it wisely and get ready for the final.
Will you be Canada's first world's strongest man?
Hopefully. I'm going to try hard and give all my best.
Well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
So with his remarkable effort in the Conan's wheel, Pudzianowski takes over the lead. Hugo Girard falls to second. Both men have done enough to qualify for the final. Carl Gillingham just wasn't able to break through. They're on to the final, but first, Hugo Girard and Mariusz Pudzianowski will meet in the Atlas Stones. Welcome back to the Metrics World's Strongest Man in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia for the final event of the final qualifier, the Atlas Stones. Torbjörn Samuelsson of Sweden and Hungary's Tibor Mazaros were paired in the first heat. Their assignment, taking nearly 1,400 pounds from the ground and moving it to the top of a platform. Samuelsson moves 4 of the 5 stones in a time of 38.37 seconds. Mazaro's trip to Malaysia doesn't end happily. He managed just 2 stones. That takes us to Carl Gillingham on the left of your screen from the United States, and he is paired with the UK's Mick Gosling.
Representing Great Britain, Mick Gosling.
Now it's all about time here. The first stone, 220 pounds.
Todd, you gotta have a quick pickup. You gotta be able to handle that stone when it's up at your shoulder, too.
Carl Gillingham has had experience in this event. He is onto the 3rd stone, which weighs 265 pounds.
He sure looks well practiced.
Mick Gosling struggling just a little bit. But Carl Gillingham making quick work of that 4th stone. Now he's onto the gargantuan 5th stone.
Oh! All kinds of power. Rams his head and the stone. And still puts the 5th one up. What a feat of strength. It's working on 3. Let's see if he's got the low back to transition and get it up. He's working hard at it, and he's got it.
So Mick Gosling, 3 stones down, 2 more to go. And this is all about proving it to himself.
And gaining valuable experience, too, Todd.
And he just runs out of time. So Mick Gosling gets 3 stones in 57.12 seconds. Carl Gillingham, all 5 stones in just under 39 seconds.
Carl's so committed. Last year was the 5th stone that kept him out of the finals. No matter what, he's determined to put that 5th stone up, and does it.
Hugo Girard and Mariusz Pudzianowski. These are the 2 men who qualified for the final from this group. And Kaz, both of them will be among the favorites in that final.
Representing Poland,
they're both so powerful and so determined to be the world's strongest man.
Well, Kaz, what do you expect here? Hugo Girard didn't go at it real hard in the last event. He doesn't need the points.
They've got a little sight job going on here. It's I beat you now. You'll see what happens in the finals.
Time to beat 38.63 put up by the American Carl Gillingham. Mariusz has got a problem. That 2nd stone is not staying on the platform. Kaz, the rule determines he's got to replace that before he moves on. And he is going on to the 4th stone. So at this point, Mariusz may finish all 5 stones, Kaz, but he'll only be credited with the first 2.
And Hugo pops up number 5. I think he's saying, no matter what happened, I'll see you in the finals, and I'm the man.
Mariusz Pudzianowski gets the 5th stone up. In reality, he put 6 stones up. He gets 5 on the podium, but he'll only be credited with 2.
We may just see the same head-to-head battle in the final for the world's strongest man title. And both men are out to prove their might. Today it was Hugo that prevailed, but Mariusz picked up the 5th stone and put it up in a strong fashion.
Carl Gillingham was so impressive and takes the top spot. Hugo Girard settles for 2nd, and after all his difficulties with the 2nd stone, Pudzianowski finishes way down in 5th. Hugo Girard and Mariusz Pudzianowski were never threatened. Hugo advances to his 5th final. Mariusz will be making his 2nd appearance. Carl Gillingham must wait another year. And now it's time for the Metrics Brute Strength Award.
This one was all about pride. Even with no chance to advance to the final, Carl Gillingham was just relentless with the Atlas stones. Firing stone after stone up on the wall, Carl showed the heart of a champion. That's why he's the winner of the Metrics Brute Strength Award.
The qualifying round is complete, and the players for the big show are set. For my partner Bill Kazmaier, I'm Todd Harris. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the world.